It is round of shots here on this Monday night, April 8th, 2024, the day of the eclipse. Kevin Hale here, doing it up with you guys, talking some Kentucky sports, talking men's Final Four. That's happening tonight. Is our future coach on the sidelines coaching this championship game? Women's Final Four. They balled out this weekend. Batcats, we got to talk about that. We're gonna go at it because we got stuff to do tonight. Got people to talk to. My friends hanging out with me as I haven't done one of these in a while, and I'm back at it. Terry, John, Doc, Dave, Jay, what is up? Did you guys refrain from staring at the sun? Terry, the whole eclipse thing. Did you have glass? What'd you do?
Yes, I did. We got the glasses and everything. So
same.
I try to look at it and then try to file for disability when I got home, but it didn't work.
Doc is in the house making
the
house.
Yeah, I got a chance to look at the.
Put these on. Actually, you put them on. You can't see. You really
it was too cloudy. I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, if they work, then you can't see a thing as you're looking through it until you look up at the sun. I got a few glimpses of that, but between that and all the John Calipari news, I thought there was maybe a 15% chance the world would actually end, but it didn't end. We're still here talking about it.
Well, depending on who you talk to, that the world might have ended last night for some people, but digressing a little bit. Look, it's sports. It's serious and not so serious. Dave, what's up? You're muted.
Sorry, the dogs are barking.
That's okay. You good? What's your drink of choice tonight?
A little bit of water, but we're okay.
A little bit of water. Jerry Hayes, what are you doing over?
Hey man, I'm out here fighting the trolls on the Twitter.
Like I knew you would be.
Hey man, I tell you what, the people that are happy Cal is gone are the maddest. I'm like, why are you mad?
Because he didn't get fired. That's why they're mad. And I'm gonna show you. This is what's currently trending right now. WrestleMania 40, which happened last night, that's still trending. Matt Jones is trending. Jay Wright's trending. Mitch Barnhart's trending. Billy Donovan's trending. Calipari's trending. Speaking of Calipari, we will be talking about our former coach who made the decision. I'm thinking made the decision last night. I don't know. I want to see how you guys think this has played out in the last few days. And the administrations they haven't responded or commented. Well, though, wasn't I'm jumping ahead real quick, but didn't Barnhart tweet out that the Arkansas AD has not reached out to him? Does anybody know that or see that or maybe I could have?
I don't think nobody has any idea what the fuck is going on at this point. Let's just be honest.
But you know what? That's why we're here to figure it out. Talk people off the ledge, or in some cases, just fucking push them off. Let them go on.
There you go.
Yeah, Tara, I'm gonna start with you because you're in Iowa. Women's Final Four, a banger of the Final Four. Controversial depending on which fan base you are with the Iowa UConn game. It was a foul. I don't care. It was a foul. You got to, and you could say you can't call it during it. Okay, but anyways,
Terry, I have to say this: the Caitlin Clark phenomenon has been just ridiculous to watch up close. Whether or not she's the best player, I don't know. I've not covered enough women's basketball to have that discussion.
When you say
all
best
I
player,
know
like
is
ever,
best player ever.
Okay.
Yeah, wherever she fits in that discussion. But it's been a thing, man. Like it has been a thing. People have been talking about all over the place here, and I have to say, she's not just from Iowa. She is from West Des Moines, Iowa, the same place as my lovely bride. So, Louisvillians, we've got Muhammad Ali, but West Des Moines has Caitlin Clark. But
Mm.
just a magnificent run. I mean, that young lady has kind of shouldered that entire sport for most of this year. All the viewing records, all the everything, everywhere she's gone, it's been a thing. It's been beautiful to watch.
When she's on, see Dave Drop, he'll join us. When she's on, Doc, it's like The Rock. The millions and the viewership when Caitlin Clark is on TV is incredible. And you can throw in all the crazy conspiracies that, she gets the calls, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Doc, your take on the women's Final Four.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think the amount of publicity that Caitlin Clark and specifically has brought to the women's game has been just absolutely fantastic. I've been a big women's basketball advocate and fan over all these years, and just to see everybody kind of realize how exciting that game can be. Of course, you need superstars like Caitlin, but to see some of the basic fundamentals and skill levels that's employed, it's a different game than the men's game. I would like to see a few more slam dunks, but you can't have everything, right?
You can't. Yeah. Not at least not at the same time. Yeah. Jay Hayes, women's Final Four. What was your take?
Think you hit on it. Viewership, man, it's good for the sport. I mean, Angel Reeves, Caitlin Clark, the story of undefeated season. So the viewership is just the bottom line to the season was great. I mean, you had people tuning in that don't watch women's basketball,
right,
and really enjoying it. Like, unbelievable pace to the game, just fundamentally basketball. It was great. And for what was going on, it was a getaway. So I enjoyed it.
I like that. Dave, your take on the women's Final Four?
I think it was awesome. I mean, they said the championship game drew like almost 18 million viewers.
That's insane.
I mean, that was amazing, right? I mean, yeah, like everybody said, I mean, star power was crazy. There were celebrities everywhere. You would have thought it would have been kind of what the men's Final Four would be as far as the atmosphere goes. I even saw somewhere where like tickets for the women's Final Four was more than what the men's was going for. So I think it's awesome. I think the come up is awesome, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm really hoping to enjoy it whenever Coach Brooks takes over in a newly renovated Memorial Coliseum. So bring it on. Let's go.
God damn it. I'm trying to limit the amount of topics, and I forgot we have a new women's coach. So we'll get to that in a second.
Let me add this real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
In women's sports also, we've come a long way to, you guys remember the little weight room they set up for the women's?
Yeah.
Oh,
a long way from that.
Yes,
so
that's a good point.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jay, because you remember that it was up until a few years ago, they were able to use the March Madness moniker. Like, I mean, this is all brand new. And I remember seeing a tweet at some point, ESPN has had the rights to the women's tournament forever, and they are finally investing in it. It's the best pregame and halftime show in the business because the people on the panel, it actually looks like they watch the games. It looks like they care. The NBA halftime shows, it's who's the GOAT? Like, we don't need all that. Just show us what you're watching, introduce us to these players, introduce us to these teams, set the narrative for us, and you see what happens with a little bit of investment.
Yep.
With you. Terry, staying with you. Let's go to the men's Final Four.
The men's Final Four?
Yes,
I didn't watch the semifinal games.
Okay. Well, you bring nothing to the table. Doc,
I bring nothing to
that's okay.
the table.
No. Doc, men's Final Four.
Yeah,
which you're kind of covering tonight too, the final.
Yeah, I didn't think I would watch the semifinal games, but due to work obligations, I felt like I had to. It's probably a good idea to write about something that you actually watch. But I'll make no bones about it. It's a little bit disappointing. I should be in Phoenix right now as we speak, covering University of Kentucky. I know that was a little bit of a pipe dream, but it's always a little bit of a disappointment when that reality hits in that, hey, your season actually is over. So unfortunately, not only did I not get to go to Phoenix, but I didn't even get to go to Dallas. So I was cut a couple of places too short on that one. As far as the game tonight, I like UConn. I picked them from the beginning all along, but that's no big deal. I mean, you see a team that just dominated, rolled over the competition. When they went on that 30-point run, boy, you're thinking there's nobody going to even get close to them. I thought Alabama did well doing what they did. I thought that was a victory in and of itself, but I look for UConn to win it tonight.
I'm leaning. Terry, go back to you real quick. Who you got tonight? Enough said. UConn, for those listening audio only, he is holding up the shirt. Jay Hayes, what you got for the men's Final Four?
A lot of stories again. You know, you had NC State men's and women's. You had UConn men's and women's. I mean, a lot of stories. And then on the men's side, you know, NC State and Purdue, length against girth. We had that whole topic of discussion, and length beats out girth. So
here comes the bots.
Yeah,
after that statement,
but
that's okay.
That was part of it. They made that a big thing. A lot of good stories. So I was okay with it. I was pulling for the underdog. I think that's the unspoken rule when your team isn't in it to root for the underdog. I mean, it's choice, but so NC State was my pick. But
here's an unpopular thing. Our Cats are SEC. I was rooting for SEC teams.
Yeah,
I know. I'm with you. Underdog is a good thing, but I kind of I was pulling for the SEC.
Except for
all of them. I was pulling for all of them. I was, but what you was doing is your call, Dave.
I was not cheering for those orange fuckers, and we know this already. I like chaos. Like I've already said that. I was really enjoying the NC State run. I think that was really fun, just from the whole ACC run all the way down. That was exciting. I'm all about the underdog, right? But personally, right now, I could really give a shit less.
Well, look, there's only one game left, and then it's done.
So 2 times in the history of college basketball, a 16 seed has beaten a 1. The first time we remember Virginia. The following year, they came back to win the national championship.
Rings.
So then it happened to Purdue.
Yeah.
Hey,
this is their following year.
Mm-hmm.
So that was also a good story.
Jay.
So I got to go with Purdue.
Jay.
What?
If we're a 1 next year, do you want us to get beat by 16 and guarantee us a national title right now?
Sure. Why not?
I'll take a title in 2 years.
I mean, if you're going to get a national title out of it, yeah, why not? No one wants to lose. Believe that. But the story is that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened. All right. What else happened this past weekend? I talked about, the eclipse happened today, and there was, depending on who you were, they tied the eclipse being on April 8th to that earthquake that happened last week, which the episode, what was the, in New York or New Jersey? Anyways, but it was a 4.8 quake. So they took the 4.8, they took the 4.8 today and tied it into some kind of a cosmic or biblical or rapture event, which some people had great ideas to just throw clothes out on the parking lots, and as if people just disappeared. I digress. Terry, you might not have watched the men's Final Four games, but were you in tune to what the hell was happening last night?
So last night with my lovely wife, we were watching a movie, and I had my phone on Do Not Disturb. So when you're with someone, set your phone down. But I pick up my phone, and my phone's blowing up. TB, have you seen? Have you heard? What do you know? I'm like, what is going on? And it's Cal's going to Arkansas. I'm like, wow. Because I had seen, I forget who it was. There was a tweet earlier in the day, Cal going to Arkansas. But I was like, whatever. That seems weird.
So there was something out early yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Earlier in the day, I had seen it, as you kind of see things. But you see a lot of stuff on Twitter. A lot of stuff in bio. Anyway. So I was like, well, and then it kept building. It was just one of those this is why I love Twitter, because something will happen and it just keeps building. And now you're in this rabbit hole of funny tweets and informational tweets. That's when Twitter's at its best. When there's an event that a lot of people are watching, a lot of people are engaged in, that to me is Twitter at its best.
Yeah.
Outside of, getting engaged. But I digress. But it was just a wild night of, Cal's really, really leaving. And of course, all the emotion with that.
Doc, where were you? What were you doing last night?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. When I first got the little tidbits that this could happen, of course, I didn't believe it. You see, like Terry said, you see a lot of stuff come across your timeline, and half of it is BS anyway.
You can say the full word.
All right. But anyway, it is. I really enjoyed the interaction and the build up over time. This is my first time as a media member for them to see University of Kentucky have a men's basketball or a men's football coaching change. So to see the magnitude of this and how everything plays into it, and how you're going down all these rabbit holes, wondering if what this guy said was actually true. And then the crescendo builds up. Okay, if he does leave, who are we going to get? It was just a lot of fun. I can honestly say that for all the bad things that Twitter is accused of, I really enjoyed this interaction on social media of seeing what transpires. I'm still looking forward to see what's going to happen over the course of the next couple of days. Hopefully by the end of the week, we will know something definite.
Well, I have to be honest, Jay. Last night when that came out, I'm right away, what the fuck is going on with Jay's Twitter? I'm looking because I knew there going to be people coming at you, and you love it. I love it. Yeah.
I got called a cunt, cocksucker. Like
all the 7 no words on
like
the FCC.
I was like amazing sports takes.
Yeah,
like great sports takes.
Jay, I apologize for all those things that I called you. Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
One person.
Yeah. You can say all those names came from one account, right?
It was 10,000.
What was your take when you saw it?
Well, I heard earlier in the day, and then right after I heard it, I had someone call and say, "Yeah, it's done." I was like, "Yeah, right." You don't believe that, They had it. They everything that eventually came out, they said beforehand, and I was like, "Wow." So, yeah. So it's weird. I don't want Cal to go, but at the same time, I'm okay with it. Like, nothing wrong with a fresh start, but it's just weird to me that this fan base is so entitled that they want to get rid of a Hall of Fame coach, no matter that it was through a new NIL, new transfer portal, COVID, all this shit, no matter that it was through that, it truly is what have you done for me lately? And I get it. It is. So now we hopefully get a fresh start. Be careful what you wish for, because Kentucky still has to make the right hire, right? So it is what it is. I'm regardless if we don't win a game, I'm still going to be there rooting no matter what. I think it's silly to want to get rid of a Hall of Fame coach. That blows my mind.
Once again, Dave, leave it to Kentucky basketball to hijack the biggest night in college basketball of the basketball season, the title game.
Yeah.
Dave, what was your take when you saw the news break last night?
Well, I was in the middle of watching a banger main event in WrestleMania 40 when Cody Rhodes finally finished his story. And beat Roman Reigns, and I was totally fanboying out, seeing all the 90s superstars come out, which was awesome. But I couldn't concentrate halfway through that match because I was slowly just scrolling through Twitter and reading all the all the accounts with 500 followers making up all this bullshit. And like everybody else said, I was just kind of laughing until somebody finally with 19,000 followers that's actually in Arkansas, I just didn't know, like, this is real, right? I'll say, Jay, I get it, right? I've said it all the time, and I know Terry will agree with me, hopefully, probably. I'm a University of Kentucky fan first, right? The coach, I'm going to stand by him. I mean, whoever it is, I'm going to ride or die with him. But I'm not going to sit here and lose sleep over the fact that a Hall of Fame coach has somehow or another decided to go to Arkansas over Kentucky, right? So I'm gonna ride or die with whatever decision happens, and I'm gonna try to trust in Mitch Barnhart and see what happens.
Oh no, there's a reason he's getting the fuck out of Kentucky. Believe that.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
we
a
know
reason.
the reason. We know the reason.
Well,
The fans.
I mean, yeah,
Shit fan base.
Mhm.
That's why. And a lot of shit media in this fan base.
Except
Who
for
know a fucking thing about sports.
except for the box right above
In
you.
their face. You know what they said? Have a nice day, Jay. Have a nice day. They didn't have a fucking thing to say.
No.
Not one fucking thing.
Well, here's
So,
what's funny, Terry, is that check this out, Terry. There was and keep in mind this is reality too. Not every Kentucky sports fan is on social media, but clearly the ones who are on social media voice their displeasure for the season for Cal. And Terry last night, a lot of people were wanting him fired. That didn't happen. And I personally didn't think a Hall of Famer, you don't fire him. I did feel like it got to the point where it's run its course because Cal said when he was hired, it was a 10-year job. He's in the last 5 years, we can argue, the differences. He was trending down versus those first 10. But here's the thing with last night. He's leaving, and you still had a fan base, a huge part that was upset with that because he left on his term. It's like if there's people in BBN, if you gave them $1 million, they would complain that you didn't give them $2 million.
Oh yeah.
But
the thing is, he was never going to get fired, and people wanted John Calipari to be humiliated. That was never going to happen. Like, it just isn't happen. It just won't unless he did something egregious.
Right.
That's my whole thing is you don't fire a Hall of Fame coach unless an Emory package opens. What, too soon? So this weird fascination with people wanting Cal to be humiliated, because I'm like, he's not going to go around to all 120 counties, knock on your door and beg for forgiveness because he lost to Oakland. That's not happening. No matter how much you want it, it's just not. So a lot of things can be true. Cal's run was very good to great. It didn't end how we all wanted it to, and sometimes that's the way it is. But the vindictiveness as he's on his way out is a little weird to me.
I think
you
some
wanted
of those
him
fans,
gone. He's leaving. That's fine. Like, look,
And
I have gone through a divorce. I've gone through a divorce, right?
Same.
It was a situation where we were like, you know what? This ain't working. Now down the road, I'm happy, she happy. We went our separate ways. But how bad does it look for me to be like, you was really mean back at no, man, just let it go. If it ends, it ends. What are you doing? That's my whole thing. This weird thing since 2015, it has become weirdly personal between Cal and the fan base.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that he lost that game to Wisconsin. People felt victimized that he took something from them. Look, I have talked to sports fans all across the spectrum. Every sports fan has a loss that eats at them, right? I married a Cubs fan, 108 years, right? Like, I'm a 49ers fan.
Say that louder so she can hear.
I don't want to sleep in the corn. But to wrap this up, I'm a 49ers fan. I just watched my team lose a Super Bowl, giving up a touchdown with 3 seconds left in overtime.
Look, Terry, we all watched that, by the way. But go ahead.
Yeah, but it was weird. The 2015, it was weirdly personal, and it's weird to me. If he's quitting, if he's leaving, then be done with it.
410 and 123 record, and you want to get rid of this guy? That's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
there's
passion and there's delusion.
Yes,
But Doc, Now I lost my train of thought. What was
Sorry.
you're following?
Yeah. Let me take you guys to Pittsburgh. Kentucky has just lost to Oakland. Golke has gone crazy. Guy with a receding hairline hits 10 threes, knocks Kentucky out of the NCAA tournament. As media members, we're all lined up trying to get into the Kentucky locker room. We're waiting there for about 5-7 minutes. Everybody's talking among themselves, and everybody to a person was saying, there's just absolutely no way Cal can be the coach next year. Is there? I mean, we're talking among ourselves. I didn't know anybody who said, yeah, we need to go ahead and bring him on. Everybody at that time thought that he was gone. Too much pressure on the incoming class, toxicity within the fan base. That's been my whole take all along, that you cannot have a successful season with the fan base literally split right down the middle. After that loss, I think literally if you took a poll, you'd have 50% of the people say they wanted him gone, 50% of the people still thinking that the guy walks on water. You can't be successful with it divided like that. How were you going to resolve that? The only way to resolve it is if both parties who are at an impasse are able to save face. That's exactly what happened in this situation. So I think we should all be actually ecstatic in the way that things played out. Calipari, he doesn't go through the humiliation of having been let go. University of Kentucky saves themselves the $33 million supposedly buyout that was out there. Everything is good. Cal was energized with his new gig. The Kentucky fan base now, no matter who they get, if they got Billy Gillespie in as a rehire,
No.
I think it would be even better than if Cal continued next year in terms of unity versus division. It's a good thing. I think we should thank him for stepping away graciously. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He loved Kentucky enough that he said, I'm going to go ahead and step away graciously.
There was no doubt Cal was going to do it on his terms. But Jay, why Arkansas? What's the attraction?
Friends, money, the getaway. It's funny, but I think he wanted the Ohio State job to begin with. That was also reported a while back. Okay. But my take to Doc is it's weird and both fitting that the Kentucky media was gathered there, lined up, talking about how's Cal going to do this year instead of talking about the game and our three guards going 3 of 19. What happened in the game? Nobody was talking about what happened in the game. We missed some shots. It wasn't that. It wasn't 3 of 19. Our freshman guards went. It wasn't Reed Shepherd froze up. Why does Cal keep doing this? The formula isn't working. It wasn't that. It was, I don't think Cal can handle the spitting in the face by the fan base. He's already kneeled once.
That was
this guy back.
Jay. That was the bigger story at the time. You're implying that there was some sort of agenda in terms of what they wanted to focus.
Yes,
I don't really think that was the case.
You're exactly right.
I see where you're coming from, but from what I gathered from the environment that I was there, I was there. You weren't.
You know why? But I watched the game. 3 of 19. Well, that's why Kentucky lost. It wasn't because of Cal.
The other thing too, it does come down to execution. And Dave, just piggybacking on what Jay said. Right, exactly. And then you had,
nobody wanted to hold players accountable.
Reed Shepherd after the game. I'm paraphrasing here, but basically he said the coaches laid out a great game plan. We just didn't execute. Of course, then you had people like, oh, he's just taking up for the coach. This is all still called coach. No, they didn't execute. Now, here's my other thing too. You had again, I don't know how many games, I don't want to say every game, but there was a lot of games where the starting 5 got us in a hole that we had to crawl out from. And, if there's anything that Coach Cal is to a fault, is his loyalty to some players. And, DJ Wagner, you don't think that? Well, hold that thought.
You're talking offense, because the 5 that he put out there was the best defense efficiency on the floor. You can look those numbers up. That's
okay. No, I'll trust you. But perception also is reality too. Dave, what's Arkansas again? Or just jump in from your thoughts on what the other guys are saying.
Am I giving my thoughts on why he would go to Arkansas?
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, well, maybe he likes the Dino Nuggets from Tyson a lot, and maybe he figured he can get a lifetime supply of the Dino Nuggets. I don't know. Less limelight, maybe, even though he is Calipari, and yes, this too, but he is making what, $1.5 million less reportedly.
The money
also,
at Arkansas,
the money at Arkansas, and the NIL money is what I think is really making his eyes bulge out, right? What is it reported, like 15 million or something like that in NIL fund?
Wow.
You can build a hell of a roster with that much money guaranteed in NIL, including bringing some of his players, most of his players from Lexington, and that's probably the most scariest part to a lot of the fans, honestly.
There's Terry, a reminder. Arkansas's in the SEC. They got, I don't know, I haven't looked at next year's schedule, but are they coming to Rupp next year?
Yes.
They are?
Yeah.
We were in Bud Walton this year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, and see, so here's the thing, backing up to what you said, Kevin, where you say perception is reality. And that's the issue I have with Jay saying, and I don't know the numbers, but Jay's like, the best defensive five started, right? And we're in this numbers Moneyball era where everybody's got a calculator and everybody's running numbers and everybody's doing whatever.
Analytics.
But perception can't be reality if you're using numbers. Numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't lie. So
wait a minute, men lie? No, go ahead.
I don't.
Oh, like
brown men don't lie. But so the whole thing is you can't be perception is reality, and then we're basing it off all these numbers.
Yeah.
And for me, if I don't think you can be loyal to a fault.
Okay.
Because if your boss promises you something, promises the team something, and doesn't uphold that, what do you got?
That's
I mean, so if someone lays out this is how it's going to be, and then they go back on their word, I don't know about you. My dad told me in this world, you got two things, your name and your word. So all this, he's loyal to a fault. Can you be too loyal? I don't know. I mean, I'm asking.
Well,
because the only time I've heard loyalty being used in the negative is with John Vincent Calipari, going back to 2015, going back to loyal to a fault. That seems weird to me and the world I grew up in.
Well, I was making kind of a general statement, not my statement, but that is kind of the I think the perception of a lot of the fan base. Doc, what's next? I mean, I said potentially the future coach is coaching tonight. Who is on realistically, who is on the short list to take the job?
Well, I don't know if you call this a short list, but I've got a list of my top.
Is this a
20.
CVS receipt?
It could be if you have these first four wish list people that I've seen on everybody's list: Dan Hurley, Jay Wright, Billy Donovan, and even Brad Stevens on there.
That ain't happening.
You say none of those are going to happen, but the reality is we don't really know. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know if somebody is unhappy with some sort of job position they're in. You don't know what their family relationship is like. There are all sorts of reasons for people to be looking for a chance to kind of take an opportunity that comes along once in a lifetime. I'm not quite willing to say they're not going to get any of those per se, but if they're
not getting Stevens. Let's rule him out. That's not happening.
Yeah, I think of all those, maybe Donovan, maybe just maybe, because hey, third time's a charm, right? I'm not outing Rick Pitino yet. I'd like to see him on the short list. All right. I don't want any age discrimination. The only thing I've heard is the guy is 71. How many more years is he going to give us? Well, I'd say probably 10. I'm probably the oldest guy amongst any of you. I'll challenge any of you to push-up contest right now. Don't
I
put age
guarantee you
against
he's
the guy.
healthy enough.
The
to
guy
call
is healthy
10 more
enough.
years.
He looks good.
I'll
He
wear you
looks
out, Doc.
energetic.
You don't want that smoke, Doc. You don't
But
want
why
that.
not? Wait a minute. Why not? I mean, can you fucking imagine
I want to see that.
back?
I want to see that.
That would be tremendous from a
That-
excitement
OMG.
media standpoint. I think that would start getting everybody scared to death of Kentucky. What can Pitino? They know what kind of coach he is.
Jay, if Pitino is on the list,
We actually do know what kind of coach he is because Cal owned him when he was at Louisville. So we actually do know what kind of coach he is.
well, I mean,
So I mean, let's call it what it is. Cal owned Pitino, owned him.
Well, all right. So we'll
Is that not
we'll
true?
go ahead and we'll
wait a
go
minute, so
ahead and
that
chalk off.
dismisses that
We're
that would
talking about a
dismiss
fan base here
Pitino?
that uses plus minus stats and don't know
Well,
it's
hold on.
entertainment stat.
Hold on.
Like,
I hear a lot. I got to come at Jay on this one. I hear some people always referencing history.
Yep.
Pitino's run at Kentucky was
unbelievable.
that's a word. I won't use that word.
Yeah. Hey, Pitino's probably one of my favorite coaches. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying tell the whole story.
Yeah.
Pitino was such a better. He'll be such a. Calipari owned Pitino when he was at Louisville. What are you talking about? Like,
for me to mention Rick, it's not saying that I'm not comparing him to Cal. I'm just saying
not you personally. I'm saying a fan base as a whole.
I look at what he did or what he can do. He's. Do I think? Well, let's go. Dave, you're short. I don't know, Jay, or stay with you. What's your list?
Terry's waving. He's got some.
Well, I want to stay real quick. The short list. Yeah.
Short list. I think Mike DeCourcy had the best short list out there. I think he had realistically like Mark Pope. He had.
You really think Pope is the guy
that? Me. I'm saying he had the most realistic.
Okay,
because instead of seeing who is actually on the list, I want to see who says no. Because I think that list is going to be 10 times bigger than the actual short list.
Oh, yeah.
Because John Calipari is respected in the basketball world. And what this fan base has done has shit all over that. That's been taken notice. You don't think so? I know that's a fact. Well, you're saying that the way the base for the Kentucky media, instead of saying who comes, find out who said fucking no to the University of Kentucky, the most prestigious fucking blue blood in the game. Find out who said fucking no, fuck off. Okay. Find out who said no.
Are they saying no to Kentucky or the fans?
Well, I mean, the fans is Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to come deal with fucking Matt Jones's fucking goofy ass. They don't want to deal with his fucking goofy fucking ass.
All right, hold on, Jay. I got
with all due respect to
how many shorts and reels can I make tonight?
Who he is.
Dave, real quick, your short list.
It's always hard following Jay, man. Jay, I love you, man.
You're still the new guy on this show. That's why.
No, it's not that he always brings so much heat. It's just really hard to follow him. You know what I mean?
They're facts, though.
Oh no, they are facts. I get it. So my most unrealistic, obviously, you probably know who I'm going to say. I'm going to give him a blank check and tell him to write it out and give it back to me is Dan Hurley. If I'm Mitch Barnhart, I'm sitting behind him tonight on the bench.
Realistically, aren't we? We would be close to doubling his salary, right?
He makes $5 million a year, I
okay.
believe. So we can give him 10, and that'll open his eyes, right?
They're not going to give him more than what Cal makes.
UConn fans, no. You don't think?
Cal's a Hall of Fame coach. You're not going to just come in here. Plus, your first 2 years at UConn, you got kicked in the round of 64. Yeah, you're not going to come and no.
But wait a minute, is that fair are you measuring Hurley's potential or based on the first 2 years? I'm looking at the last 2 years, what he's done.
Oh, okay.
You have to look at things in their totality, because what's happened here starting last night is everybody and their brother focusing on the last 4 years, right?
Yeah.
That's all I saw was the last 4 years, not Kentucky basketball. The last 4 years, one tournament win. The last 4 years, not an SEC championship. If you are going to tell the story, again, going back to what Papa Brown said, you have to tell the whole story.
Yep.
You have to tell the part about only 3 coaches have taken their teams to 4 Final Fours in 5 seasons. That's Coach K, that's John Wooden, that's John Calipari. It will take 20 years, because this is how the Kentucky fan base is, for us to appreciate what he did. We did not appreciate Joe B. Hall until he was old and shuffling around and everything like that. We did not appreciate Tubby Smith until he's come back a little bit older, a little bit grayer. We appreciate Rick because Rick is the one that got away, right? Every other coach that leaves Kentucky, it is ugly when they leave. It ain't great. Rupp, you're too old. Joe B, you got to go. Sutton, but Rick is the one. Tubby had to go. Of course, Billy G had to go. And now Cal's going. But Rick was the one. I hear this stuff all the time. If he never left, we'd have 5 more championships. We'd have blah, 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 blah. It's that one that got away. And I wish we wouldn't romanticize that as much.
And he's acknowledged it by saying that was a mistake that I left Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know, he's recently acknowledged that.
Can I say who I don't want?
Go ahead.
I don't want Scott Drew.
Yeah, he does.
To me, he's boring, and he just doesn't seem like the type that would come in and get the fans raw, ready to go.
How about we do it by resume, and whoever doesn't have a 410, 123 record can't fucking come to Kentucky? How about that?
Well, then we're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. My point.
Here's the thing, guys.
Let me say this too. COVID, Cal went through it. He had to deal with that. He did it. It sucked. NIL, transfer portal, brand new. Cal did it. Going through it. It sucked. The landscape of college basketball, thank God this is the last year for super senior bullshit. You know,
is it the last year?
We might get back a little normal, yes.
Okay. All right.
You know, but NIL might keep some guys a little longer, but you're not going to have 7-8 year guys now. You know, he went through all that. It's brand new. This is what I don't get is, you know, everybody's going through this, you know, and you're willing to get rid of a Hall of Fame coach.
It's to me, it's a results oriented. I know, I get it, the whole total picture, but it is also, what have you done for me lately?
Yes.
And what has happened lately has not been. I mean, good God, what is the count of tournament wins in the last 4 years?
Yeah, it's bad.
1, 2. I mean, it's not what.
Hey, you know what? You can add this. Who has the most NCAA tournament wins? Active coaches.
What does that mean? That don't mean shit,
Okay,
though.
now listen to me. So you take those losing years, right? Take those losing years. Add those losing years in there. Cal is still, with the losing years, still number 1. Those guys catch up to him. Tell the whole story.
Well, Jay, I think that shows you the totality of how horrible the past few years have been. It really is. What have you done for me lately? You know, he's a victim of his own success early on, and so it's unfortunate, but that's the reality. The trend is he's going down. Anyway, what do you guys think about Nate Oates or Bruce Pearl?
Yes and fuck no.
Bruce Pearl is crazy. Nate Oates is a math teacher.
So 2 nays on your part, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right.
I kind of like Bruce's. I like
not going backwards.
I like Coach Pearl's energy. I think you have to have. There is a special kind of coach that has to be here.
I think
in that guy. Here's the thing. Reality is for the traditionalists, for all the Cal naysayers, Cal's brand became bigger than the Kentucky brand. And this is reality. This is my not reality. This is my opinion. Players came to Kentucky because of Cal, not
Yeah.
because of the Kentucky. No. they don't.
So if I were to ask Pat Riley, he didn't come to Kentucky for Adolph Rupp. He just came because he loved Kentucky a lot.
What the fuck does Pat Riley? I mean, let's stay in the moment here. Well,
my point is, it's not new that guys come to play for the coaches. It's not a new thing.
Yeah.
So that the slander I hear is people came to play for Cal, like Tony Delk did not come to play for Rick Pitino. He just wanted to come to Kentucky real bad.
Well, you're naming 1-2 player. I'm looking at this roster. The last you can say, honestly, here's the thing.
My point is this, Kevin.
Yeah.
Guys go to schools for the coaches. It is a minuscule few that wake up like a Reed Shepherd. I'm going to Kentucky. Like, it's not new that these players go for the coaches. It's not new. Cal's not an outlier. They all go to play for the coach. You think that all those 5 stars went to Tuscaloosa, Alabama because it's beautiful, or they wanted to play for Nick Saban? Like, what are we doing here?
No,
all those guys go for the coach. And when I saw all his Cal former players like throwing their support for the coach, Pitino's guys still root and ride and die for Pitino. Again, that is not unusual. That's not Cal poison the well. Those people love their coach. Period. That's not unusual.
No.
That's what I'm talking about. Pat Riley didn't come to Lexington, Kentucky because he liked horses. Adolph Rupp was a Hall of Fame coach and he wanted to play here.
He might have, though, because I heard he's pretty.
But my point is, it's not rare that these young guys or women go for the coach.
I guess where I'm going with that is that whoever the coach is, he's got to be as big as the school. In my take, you could on every Coach Cal team, you can line up 10 old white men, one of them being Adolph Rupp, and a majority of those players could not tell you who Adolph Rupp is. So the history of the program is irrelevant. It's the moment. What Cal has done. Cal has done a lot. So
they might not know the history, but they know there's history. They know it's the blue blood. They know that. They might not know Rupp, but they know what has happened at Kentucky
since 2009.
They know.
I'd argue that. I guarantee they could not. No, I don't buy that.
8 banners hanging in Rupp that they see. They know.
Okay. Well, they know when they go into Rupp and see it, but I guarantee a lot of them didn't even know. My point in all this is that the next coach has to be as big as the program.
Okay, Kevin Hale, put you on the spot. Who's it going to be? When the dust settles, who's going to be coaching at the University of Kentucky?
I kind of think I think Rick should get a call.
Kevin,
I don't give a shit if he's 70 years old. The guy can coach. He can come in and coach. Give us 5 years. I think it's a great complete circle for him.
You just told me history doesn't matter. You want to bring back. You just told me to my face history doesn't matter.
I'm talking about him as a coach. I mean, right now, what he's done at St. John's. He's a better coach than Cal. Pitino is a better coach than Cal. X's and O's is a better coach than Cal.
Okay.
So who is the best coach right now available?
What was he a better X and O coach?
here we go, Jay.
Because who's what? Say it again.
What was Pitino a better X and O coach when he was getting on when he was at Louisville?
Well, you can argue. I mean, talent.
I hear that all the time, X's and O's, but this is a fact. Once again, Calipari owned Rick Pitino.
Yes, but what's that got to do with anything? Calipari's probably owned a lot of coaches, so that disqualifies every coach.
Coach, then I'm going to argue that Calipari owned Pitino. So evidently, therefore, he is not a better X's and O's coach.
Okay.
Is
now,
that not right?
There will be an asterisk in this show that, as a reminder, hold on, that Kevin Hale says things to get a reaction. People should know that I'm a shit starter.
There's the reaction.
Faith in your convictions.
No, you started some shit.
Hey, but
I have to
I'm not disagreeing with Doc, Terry, or anybody. Dave, I'm not. I'm for whoever's going to win, because at the end of the day, that's all we want. We want to get back winning postseason. That's what we want.
Right. And we're all on the same page with that, right?
Right.
Like Doc was talking about the division. We all want Kentucky to succeed.
Right.
There's not one person that wears blue and white that's like, yes, we lost to Oakland and that guy. Like, no one's happy about that. Just because I don't want to drag John Calipari out of Lexington and draw and quarter him and tar and feather him down there on Main Street by the fountain.
They were going
doesn't
after
mean
his
I don't
dog
care.
today.
Yeah.
That's the thing is we have to agree. We all want Kentucky to succeed. What does that mean?
Yes, we do.
know, look, check my timeline. After we lost to Oakland, I was like, this is it. He got to go. I don't know how you come back from that. And I still believed it. But then when they had that meeting on TV, I was like, well, he's the coach. I'm going to go with it, but I ain't going to get on board like I have been. That was me. And y'all know I pump sunshine all day, but I'm like, well, I don't see how this is tenable. Back to what Doc was saying, like, the weight just keeps going on, and it's not going to be fair to anybody, the fans, the players, the coaches. This was a best case scenario. Whoever comes next, be it Scott Drew, be it Jesus, whoever comes coaching, we just have to keep it moving, man.
But, all right.
Yep.
Patino's a great story, but the truth, real truth, I think Hurley would be my pick. He would be my pick as the guy. Pitino was a great story, but
Danny Hurley is Kim Mulkey in a wig.
Wouldn't he be the bald Kim Mulkey?
You see Dan Hurley throwing fits at UConn? Imagine how that's going to be at Kentucky.
Jay, did you say? Oh, Jay, did you? Who's your guy? Who is your guy? Who do you want?
I think it's going to be Billy Donovan.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
I think so. I really do think it's between him and Nate Oates. I see Oates
more realistic than Donovan.
And I'll say this also. I think they already know who the guy is. It's been in talks already. So
you have to, right? If you're Mitch Barnhart, you got to have a plan for whoever, for all your coaches.
Cal's been wanting to go for a while.
Yeah,
Mitch's track record, to be honest, is spectacular. Is amazing. I think he's not. I don't think he got caught off guard. I think he'll be.
You can do a round shot. Last shot for the game.
Yes, we were. Real quick, we've talked about what's this mean for guys. I'm gonna throw it out. Recruiting. We've seen players entering the portal.
They're all gone.
Basically.
Yeah.
Shepard too.
Yeah, he's going pro.
You think? Okay.
Yeah, but we'll be fine. Kentucky always eats.
Yeah.
Well, I want to eat on like this past weekend. I want to keep eating, and that's what's all we all want. All right, we're getting close to the top of the hour. This is fun. Makes me miss one to do these shows. All right, let's go. Final shots. Terry, give me your final shot.
Final shot. One more shout out to Caitlin Clark in West Des Moines, Iowa's own, and the Iowa women back-to-back national championship game appearances. Pretty good thing out here in the corn.
Doc, what you got?
Just thank you to John Calipari. It's been 15 Great years. Not all 50 of them were great, but what a ride, man, to be in the hunt every single year. Personally, God did a lot for me, other than Oscar Combs and Alan Cutler. He probably vaulted this media gig career of mine up to the top. The interactions that we had at press conferences. He wrote 2 forwards for my book. So just want to thank him.
Actually, I didn't know that. That's cool. Very cool. Jay, final shot.
So a 10-5 record is pretty good, huh?
10-5. They'll fill me in.
I mean, people say Cal had 5 bad years. And good. 10-5 is a pretty good record, right?
It's pretty good.
Yeah. But anyway,
not good. It's pretty good.
But anyway, baseball, Kentucky baseball, baseball school, amazing. They're having fun, doing the damn thing. But my final shot will be football.
That's not even his final shot. He took.
I'm sorry. Oh, damn.
Every fucking time, Jay. Every fucking time you do that.
You can reiterate or something, but football is around the corner. Since it is, Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately? Let's keep that same fucking energy, Mark Stoops. Mediocre Mark. Hey, this is it right here. Are we sticking fucking for sale signs in your fucking yard?
Good God.
No.
We'll eventually get to football.
We're talking now. You can't use the history of Kentucky football to protect Mark Stoops and the history of Kentucky basketball to shit on Cal. Fuck you. We're sticking for sale signs in your fucking yard if you don't win 10 fucking games. How about it?
Dave, I'm going to ask you to try again to follow that. Try. Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Hey, the baseball team is really doing good.
Kentucky baseball is fucking amazing. Okay, they are really good. I was there Saturday to see the complete game against Alabama. The crowd was amazing. The weather was finally beautiful. If you haven't gone on the train yet, there's still plenty of time. Get on there, get out the KPP. The park is awesome. The atmosphere is really fun. We got a lot of great teams coming there. Arkansas is coming in there. That fucking orange team will be there in a couple weeks. And you got Vanderbilt coming in there, who's the one directly behind us in the East. I think it's going to take probably 15 to 17 wins to get that regional, probably 17 to 19 wins to get that super regional. And that is really, really in play right now. So get on the Kentucky baseball train.
Is this an potential Omaha bound team?
Yes.
Yes. If they make it to Omaha, I'm going. Because they got close. Was it last year before Super Regional?
Last year Super Regional. Yeah.
Omaha is like 2.5 hours to the west. So if they make it, y'all will still CTB there. Maybe me and Doc will room together again.
Hey, there you go. It's all about pitching, and this team has it. I think I've talked to people who have followed the team for the past 10, 15 years. They say that this is probably the strongest pitching staff, starters and relief bullpen that they've seen in a while. So good pitching always beats good hitting. This is the point.
And if Terry and Doc room together, we'll have some pitching and So, all right, a lot of good. Terry, we didn't see the whiteboard tonight. Is it where is it? Can you?
Oh, the whiteboard.
Yeah. Give me something.
No, you caught me off guard. Like I said, I forgot when you said join at 7:50. I couldn't remember if it was Eastern or.
Well, it's
Central
a Monday
time,
night, so
you caught me off guard here. But go, Cats, man. We're all in this together.
We are. It's this spirited conversation. Hey. It's at the end of the day, we bleed blue. I mean, it's all about. We want to win. We want to succeed. But as a show host, I like the conversation. I like to poke. Get Jay all.
Hey, I'm a passionate fan.
I love it.
Ain't that what we say? We're passionate.
We are passionate.
At least I give fucking facts. 10 wins or you got to go, Mark. Now, somebody post that picture of him trying to pick up the bartender at Jeff Ruby's.
Oh,
how about that?
Guys, it's been real. Love you all. Go Big Blue. Everyone, have a good night. We will do it again. Peace out. Take care. Okay, so.